Okay.
Hello, everybody. Dan Tomaszewski here with Everything MSP. Welcome to June's elevator pitch. This is your monthly backstage pass to three cutting edge vendors solving real world MSP problems. So, I want to tell you a little bit how this works. Each vendor is going to get 10 minutes to give us their elevator pitch. After all of their pitches, they'll jump into their own breakout demo rooms where you can ask questions and possibly even see the tech live. Now, don't forget, one lucky winner who stays all the way to the end will win $250 cash, but you have to be present to win. Now, we're going to kick things off starting out with James Levine from Pax8. If you're an MSP and you're not already streamlining your stack in a cloud marketplace, you're working way too hard. Pax8 has redefined how MSPs buy, bill, and manage cloud products. And we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Jack. Go ahead and take it away, my friend.
Thanks, Dan. So I wanted to, first of all, I am with PAX8, but we're actually a subset called PAX8 Academy. And the Academy is the enablement arm. We teach, we instruct, we coach, we have peer groups on demand and instructor-led training. So our ideal is to work with MSPs at no matter where you're at, whether you're a solopreneur or you've got a $100 million organization is irrelevant. There's always a way to increase value. And that's what we do at Academy. So I wanted to kind of, yes, we're part of PAX8, but PAX8 Academy is the enablement arm. It used to be C-level operations, purchased by PAX8 3.5 years ago, and we've expanded immensely. But I want to talk today about a new program we just built, and we launched it in February, and it's the security coaching program. And the reason I'm bringing this up is a year ago, there was some chatter going on all over the MSP space about what is an actual security practice. Should I be an MSP, an MSSP, whatever it happens to be? And I come from a military intelligence background, so do the other coaches. And we got together one day, we were talking to our partners that we were coaching, and we decided that there's a lot of confusion out there. There's a lot of vendors that say, take our tools and follow this checklist, and you're a security expert. And that is just not the case, as you know. So that was really the impetus behind building this. It took us a year to build this program. And the idea behind it is why? Why are we doing these practices? Why do we even want to launch a practice? And you can see right here on the screen that a couple different reasons. I like to go down to the bottom one, which is adding an extra revenue stream, a highly profitable revenue stream for compliance as a service. Whether you're going after the defense industrial base, the DIB, right, the CMMC stack, or you're going after CIS controls and just doing implementation group one, which every business needs, or you're just selling to the risk value factor that a lot of businesses have, and now you want to have multi-layered protection, you need to understand what that entails and make sure you have a strategic practice that's built around that offering. And so that's one of the reasons why you want to start a practice. We found that a rush to market, grabbing a bunch of tools and going out and selling has set up a lot of MSPs for risk, and they're not defensible in court. So that's why we built this. Some common misconceptions. And this is really common. I heard this over hundreds of MSPs that we coached over the last couple of years, and this is part of it right here. And I like to start at the bottom, that you need a dedicated team. You can have shared resources. You can share a tech if they're sorted up. There's things you can set this up, whether you're a one-man show, 2, 3, or you're sub 1 million, sub 5 million, sub 10 million. It doesn't really matter. There's different ways you can structure this. Eventually, as you mature and grow, you are going to hire CISSPs, and you're going to get your ethical hackers and so forth as you build your structure. We teach this in coaching. When do you want to implement that? How do you allocate those resources? When is the right trigger point to move that money around the capital expenditures? And so these are some of the misconceptions that we wanted to address and counter in our coaching. Some of the challenges that everyone is facing. And this is, you're going to read them here and you go, yeah, that's totally typical. The uncertainty of it all, the distinctions, revenue, how do we make it profitable? I've worked with other MSPs who they are charging nickel and dime when the value is so great. The risk factor for a business is so great, but they're not selling based on value. We teach that in the security coaching program of when you get strategic and how to offer your packaging, your pricing, and your services based on value and how you can be really profitable that way. Another set of challenges, you can see it right here. Do I have the money? Do I have the time? Do I have the resources? I just got done coaching a client who built out a CMMC level 2 practice. If you ever think about that, level 2 is challenging. It took them over 900 hours. Now, you can do the math. They had to hire special people. They sent them in a closet with Microsoft Word and basically wrote policy after policy after policy just so they could become level 2 compliant. Most people don't think about that. They think, well, I get this in a month or two, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. It took them a year. So those are things that need to be addressed and exposed. And that's what we do in security coaching. We give you the reality check, building a viable, process-driven, profitable security practice. And so here's some more ideas of, as you're going through security coaching, these are the things that you're going to learn that we're solving, right? How do we actually, what are the appropriate packages, the layers of defense, different process? What are the policies tied to the frameworks? Do we actually have the right policies internally as well as going externally? And are we providing those? What about the legality of it all, defensibility? Are we operating in due care? And are we teaching that to our clients? So here is the security coaching program. I like to use this Visio. Our program is 12 months and it varies. I mean, it could be off by a couple weeks, but it's usually a 52-week program. And it starts right here with strategy. Got to have a strategic plan. You've got to be able to have your blueprints in place, right? In order to build out the program. Get into strategy, capital. You can see building out, picking and choosing a framework, adopting the framework, implementing the framework internally before going externally. You'll notice there's a green line. Everything to the left of the line is operations, what you need to do internally to prepare. Everything to the right is now we're getting ready to package and get out into the marketplace and make a profitable selling structure, really building out that infrastructure for selling. That's really it in a nutshell. And so the end result, you can see it right here. I've already got people in the coaching program who are getting massive results. We're moving quickly, and they're ranging from 5 techs to over 150. So I've got a full gamut, and everyone is using us either to validate, verify, or create the strategy to make sure they're not missing anything, because there's a lot of moving parts in security, and you don't want to miss a thing. Dot your I's and cross your T's. So I'm going to wrap it up by just saying this. If you forget everything today, just remember these couple of things. One, you want to have lifestyle as a mindset. This security is not a child's game. It's not something quick and you rapidly run into. You've got to plan this out. You got to be strategic. You have to think it through. There's a lot of ramifications and risk, and I don't think we talk about that enough in our industry. Be very, very cautious. Think it through. The other one is make sure it is a comprehensive package, right? Fully thought through. As you're working with your client base, they're going to have different layers of the onion that you need to protect them with. Make sure you understand that. And the last one is, what is the risk for them as well as for us? If you can just remember those basic things, then at a minimum, I know that at least you're aware that I can't just slap some tools on it and call myself a security expert. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And we will go ahead and move on to our next presenter here. Let me go ahead and bring him in. Got our spotlight there. And of course, we've got next up, we've got Jack Cook. And Jack is with Kaseya, which is one of their companies, Powered Pro Services. And as we all know, marketing is one of the biggest gaps in the MSP space. Jack and his team are here to help providers fill their funnel, educate prospects, and build real brand credibility. So if you're tired of guessing at your messaging, lean in for this one. Jack, you are up, and your 10 minutes starts now.
Perfect. Thanks, Dan. And is my screen coming up okay? Can everyone see that?
Yep, all set. Yep.
Amazing. Grant. Look, good evening. For a start, can't guess by the accent. My name is Jack Cook. I'm based over in the UK, so it's evening for me, but good afternoon, I imagine, for most other people on this call. I'm a senior talent development manager with Kaseya. I have a pretty cool role. I get to travel the world and attend industry events, whether it's in sales, AI, automation, cybersecurity, and listen to people far more intelligent than myself talk about the stuff that's happening in that space. I then bring it back and look at different ways in which we here at Kaseya can use that information to help our partners. As part of that job, I head up our global MDF program. So it's available to all our partners who are gold tier and above to put on events to grow their business. Okay, we have the potential to co-fund those events alongside you. I look after industry events here in EMEA, but I also help our partners globally, a lot with sales enablement and their go-to-market strategies. Okay, and how they can potentially A, charge more and B, just more effective MSPs. And I couldn't agree more with some of the stuff James is saying in his last presentation. What I'm here to talk to you about today is a platform that we have called Powered Services Pro. You have to forgive me, I'm Northern Irish, saying the word power is a difficult one. We don't pronounce our vowels particularly well. Powered Services Pro is at its heart, a marketing automation platform available to MSPs. Okay, and the reason the automation part of that is so important is because as MSPs, you guys are so phenomenal at the technical side of things and putting all that stuff together. Sometimes the sales and marketing isn't necessarily the background that most MSPs come from. And so putting in a platform that is able to automate an awful lot of that for MSPs is super important. Just think of it like building out a server. Once you build out a server and you configure it, you can sort of largely set and forget it. That's what we're trying to do with Powered Services Pro for MSPs. Give them a platform which they can build out and then largely set and forget to do a lot of that sales and marketing stuff that most MSPs don't really like getting involved in. Right? There's three key outcomes from this. And actually, earlier this week, I was sat on a panel in Dublin with three sort of sales and marketing experts from Europe. And one of the key things that kept coming up on that panel is there is no magic bullet when it comes to sales and marketing. Okay, there's very rare that you're going to find a campaign that you're going to go push out there and you're going to have 20 businesses, knocking on your door asking you to come take their money. Okay, that's rare. It doesn't really happen. It's way more about just being consistent and being visible. Okay, and by having an automation platform that can push out an awful lot of material without you having to touch it, it allows you to build that trust and credibility. Okay, you're a lot more visible. It allows you to make sure that you can be that business that is in the right place at the right time whenever that client's, existing provider or internal IT team drops the ball. Okay, you're the business that's front of mind. By being that business with visibility and credibility, you're going to generate more leads without consistently having to go do it yourself. The platform is going to be out there pushing this material out there for you, takes a lot of pressure off your shoulders, which is inevitably going to lead to more business close and allow you to increase revenue, not just with new business, but by also entering some of your existing clients into nurturing campaigns within this platform as well. Again, allowing you to sort of push more upsell and cross sell across your existing client base without you having to sort of be the key point doing it all the time. All right, for that to work, there's sort of three key pillars that allow the marketing automation to really drive itself forward for you. One is the lead capture side of it. Okay. Now, I'm not suggesting you attach everything you send out with lead capture. You want to be putting out a lot of sort of freely available information without putting it behind sort of lead capture walls. But every now and again, some really nice sort of nuggets of information that you send out or some key bits of material that might be more relevant with a local attack or a recent supply chain issue that's hit the news, that if you're going to put out a supply chain sort of checklist, maybe that's the type of thing you want to put behind a lead capture. So it allows you to build that list of potential clients internally. Once you have that lead list of potential clients, it's allowing you to then build them into automated lead nurture campaigns as well, whether that's emails, social media, Google, whatever works best for you, or doing all at the same time would be my suggestion. All right, and these are allowed you to then really create personalized templates. You have access to all this source material, so you can customize this to sound like you, sound like it's coming from your business, your organization. You can also customize the colors, the logos, everything to give it the look and feel of your MSP. So it's more personalized coming from you and lands more personally with your clients without you having to, again, spend a huge amount of time to do everything with your own bits of content. Once you get them sort of into that lead nurture as well, you can then have automated follow-up and conversions. That ability to make sure that if they engage with a little bit of material that's specific to something you want to talk about, you're notified straight away. Or even setting up so that if they've been in your pipeline for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and they haven't engaged specifically with anything, sends up a flag for you to say, hey, maybe you want to give this person a call. Maybe you want to get in touch with them and try, G up their engagement with you on a personal level as well, and just speaking to them over the phone. Also, the minute someone enters your pipeline, you can get in front of them and start that conversation yourself. They might say, hey, look, we're not looking for anything right now. That's great. Just keep the material rolling out to them. As I said, you want to be front of mind. You want to be that business that's there when they need something. Okay, as one of my colleagues always says, visibility is credibility. It's about being consistent. It might not take 3 months. It might not take 6 months. It might take 9, 12, 18. But by having this consistently running, you're going to create a consistent funnel that allows for more business to come in. All right. In doing that, there's a couple of key sort of issues that we see most MSPs fall into when they consider sales and marketing. And I imagine these are all things that are going to resonate with you guys. Whether you've got a marketing team, whether you've got a sales team, whether you're a small or large organization, a lot of the common objections are, like, we don't really have the time, we're not a marketing organization, or it's too expensive. Marketing automation platforms really help across the board here. Okay, the automation saves time. You can set up a series of campaigns, take you maybe less than an hour to do so, and then not come back to this for 6 months if you want. I will run in the background. It will be pushing that out across your socials, your email, anything you want. Okay. What else in your business do you only have to spend an hour on every 6 months? There's not an awful lot. Okay. If you can just get in that habit of getting something up and running, being out there, being visible, so that as and when you're needed, you are front of mind. If you're not a marketer, that's fine. You don't need to be. As I said, less than sort of an hour to set this up for 6 months. It's just about getting something out there. And even if you have a marketing team, that's fine. This will save them an awful lot of time because they're not going to have to go build content from scratch. There are thousands of bits of content, podcasts, emails, checklists, social media posts, all built into this platform that you can just have sent out. All right. And it's not really focusing on that sort of old school fab, feature, advantage, benefit. It's much more focused on the sort of business outcomes. And if you haven't got budget for something like this right now, that's fine. For anyone in here who is an existing Kaseya partner, you have access to a platform called Powered Services Lite, which is a slightly lighter version of this that you can start pushing out that content and automating that straight away. Okay. If you want to then get access to slightly more content, slightly more features, some of the CRM ability, and we even have like SEO capability in there now, then that might be the stage when you start saying, hey, look, we're having some good results here. Maybe you want to upgrade to that Powered Services Pro version, okay? But both are available, and the Powered Services Lite is available free of charge to all existing Kaseya partners through your Kaseya One platform. All right. Some easy, quick wins in this space, okay? If this is something that you're doing or you're not doing, just start thinking about setting up a quick email sequence. All right, just get it up and running, use a couple templates. It doesn't take an awful lot. There's tons of templates online as well. Again, while we'd love you guys to use Powered Services Pro, if not, don't worry about it. Just start doing something. Okay, or start getting more and more content out there so that you have more at bats. More content out there, the more likelihood it is that you will be in the right place at the right time. Says schedule 1 hour per week, might not take that. Okay, takes that's sort of what we'd recommend. But as I said, you can set it up for 1 hour a month and sort of set and forget it. All right, this is just designed to make your life a little bit easier. The content that this pushes out is very much focused on business outcomes, not the feature advantage benefit. You want to make sure that you are that business that is seen as the thought leader. You are the one that is visible. You're that one building credibility, so that when someone drops the ball, you're the guys that are front of mind. Okay, I'm going to be in the breakout room later, so if you've got any questions, come in there. Even if you've got questions around general sales or marketing or what we're seeing work well for MSPs, I review about 50 MDF requests a week. Feel free to drop in, ask some questions. Happy to help where I can. All right. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Hopefully that's been of help.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. And we are moving on to our final vendor for the day. We have Steve Copeland with Rhythms. Now, this one is pretty cool. Rhythms is bringing MSP's 5G powered internet solutions that offer redundancy and coverage options where fiber fails. If you've got clients in tough connectivity zones or you're trying to build some resilience into your stack, this is a must-see. Must-Steve, I almost said. This is a must-Steve. And of course, Steve, the floor is yours and your 10 minutes starts now.
Thank you. So you should be able to see my screen. I apologize. Hold on one sec. Let me pull it up. I am currently at the ASCII event in Chicago. So hopefully you guys can hear me well. And this is absolutely the way to make sure that 5G is working, because I am not on the hotel Wi-Fi.
There you go.
So what are we doing with 5G? Why are your clients talking about it? It was the buzzword a couple years ago, and like everything in IT, it fell flat. AI is kind of doing the same thing right now, and people are kind of moving that piece forward. So I was an MSP, much like you. I've been out there. I worked for in-house IT a long time ago. I worked for a small company called Spam Soap. Some of you may remember we had funny t-shirts. We're doing the same thing. When I came back to this, and when it really kind of started with this, was this connectivity issue. Where is everything at? When I left the MSP space 10 years ago, right? That MSP space, what I did was I wrote an article called The Death of an MSP and said, nobody will be managing Exchange servers in 12 to 15 years. And if you are managing one, good for you. Usually at one of these events, I find one person, we all give them a nice big round of applause. But what is 5G? What's it doing? Why does it matter? Connectivity, as things are moving to the cloud, have become more and more important. It's become more valuable for your clients. Downtime is value. And even if you are a telecom partner, you're still getting blamed for it. When the internet goes down, they call you, and you call Cox for Comcast or whatever communication piece. And when you do that, they then tell you, we can see the equipment's not our fault, it's yours. 5G provides that resiliency, that business continuity piece. Downtime statistics, and I ran this through a million times. That's why this number is somewhere between 8,000 to 74,000 per hour. This is what's costing your clients. When they go down, if their ERP system is out in the cloud, they are completely and utterly helpless. You have a manufacturing company, if you have that different side of it, those people are working on that side of it right now and losing. They're losing money. So 5G is your MS gateway to explosive growth in the untapped SMB market. Your clients are already talking about 5G right now. They're talking about it with T-Mobile. T-Mobile's doing a huge push with it. Verizon's doing a huge push with it. There are multiple different pieces. We've got partners. We've got one partner that right now on one deal closed 38 car dealerships. That raised his annual recurring revenue by $200,000 a year. One deal. And that was with all our boxes out there. 5G adoption stats, it's coming out. 40% of SMBs will be replacing wired and wireless networks with 5G by 2029. And here's why. 4G, when it was a technology that was out there, is good about tracking one item that's out there. 5G tracks many items. When I talk about it, it comes from the tracking technology piece that has different sides of it that are tracking missiles. Old technology could track one missile. The problem was you had to track many missiles as they were launched later. So this is the same kind of piece. Why 5G doesn't work. When you put these 5G boxes in these small little tiny pieces in there, and you put them down into your network closet, It does not work. It's not going to give you the ability to get the antenna that you need. From that side of it, size matters. From your antenna, what you get, you grab more bandwidth. When you get more bandwidth, right now, like I said, I'm working on this. We've had people amazed that I've got it in a hotel lobby, and we're getting 400, 500 megs down. It is good for disaster recovery, connectivity anywhere, events and pop-ups. We've got our one of our partners right now that went out to a web van, and that web van, those food vans that are out there left and right, they came up and they had a discussion with us, and that discussion was, how many times does your POS not work? And when they did that, the guy said 3 out of 4 transactions don't go through. And they go, so 75 out of 100 customers are the only ones that can buy from me. So we were able to get that there, 99.7% uptime. The only reason we were able to do more uptime with them was because somebody unplugged our box. We had an internet connectivity issue when I was in Chicago last year. Lori Tassani came in. Her internet at her office wasn't working. She grabbed one of our boxes and moved it forward. Down in a basement, by the way. Manufacturing recovery. RTO time of 15 minutes, and that was with a private 5G network. Event connectivity. Last 2 weeks ago, we did Phoenix Fan Fusion. We're based out of Phoenix, which is basically Phoenix Comic Con with one of our partners. 3-day event. They charged $10,000 for that event. Our box, they made over $7,000 for the event as well. The retail POS results. If your POS and your system is down, if your manufacturing systems are down, you have to have some kind of redundancy and make it work. Case study, what we did was the Huntington Beach Club. Golf companies do not like digging up their grass. I have no idea why, but they don't like digging it up. We were able to bring in our boxes and broadcast what I call the Happy Gilmore Championship. That's the World Long Ball Champion, where they hit it as far as they can. That Happy Gilmore piece was able to get there. We broadcast that completely to the ESPN and the Golf Channel. Mobile retail. Right now, we're doing Formula Drift. We sponsor one of the cars, actually 2 of the cars. We do telemetry and live streaming with them right now. That's through one of our partners. So when we built this, and why is Rhythms different? What's it matter? I keep getting asked the question, what's the difference between us and Starlink? 3 simple things: congestion, upload speed, and weather. But more importantly, when we built this, we built a box that made sense to us. It's carrier agnostic. That means I have T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T all in the same box. We bond those solutions together, and we work with you to get that. The SIM cards are what matters. Nobody wants to have a SIM card that runs out of data or gets data capped. We work with them to get those pieces out. So we have unlimited data all the way out through. Complete seamless failover, hot failover. We can do static IPs. The static IPs pull it out of bond if you didn't realize that piece of it. Here's how we do this. We do a pilot program. And for everybody that works with Dan and is part of Dan's piece, we will give you a 14-day Rhythms trial. That means I ship it to you. We get the box set up. You put it out your client, and proof is in the pudding. And when I say free 14-day trial, you're not charging shipping. You're not doing anything. We send it all the way out to you. Our solutions start at $5.95 a month for the bigger boxes. For our smaller boxes, we're all the way down to $95 per month. All of our solutions are built to be resilient and work together. If you want to get in touch with us, feel free to contact me at rhythms.com. Feel free to give us a call. I'll have the breakout room, be able to answer. I always get a lot of questions, so I'll be able to answer these questions as much as possible. And I thank you guys for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. And I want to mention a couple quick things here before we move on to the next segment of our event. We have, if you want to reach out to any of these vendors, of course, if you are on the everythingmsp.com website, you can search for any of the vendors, learn more about them. There's a way to reach out to them as well. I also want to mention that we have a resource checklist. If you go to everythingmsp.com/resources, you can click on our resource checklist and take advantage of many of the other resources that we have. So, with that being said, for any of our Zoom attendees, please hang tight. We've got much more coming up here, as well as our $250 cash giveaway. For those watching on YouTube, this will conclude this month's elevator pitch. Thank you for watching us on YouTube, and we hope to see you next month.